So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to my iPhone 11 Pro unboxing video. Now I went with the gold edition, and this is the base 64 gig. Now one thing you'll notice about the iPhone 11 Pro series is that pretty much all of them are going to get black boxes from what I'm seeing so far. There's the Midnight Green Pro Max, and if you take a look at the 11, that has the traditional white box. So it's a little bit of a nice touch from Apple. I haven't seen this since the jet black iPhone 7 Plus, and they also have a very nice matte textured back. So at the bottom, you can see right here, we can pull this tab just like that, and we're right into the phone. I always like the unboxing experience for Apple devices because it's just so easy. You have the gold Apple logo, and then you have the iPhone logo over here. You can see the iPhone right there, iPhone, and an Apple logo again. On the back, it does say what comes in the box. 64 gigabytes, includes iPhone 11 Pro, earpods with lightning connector, USB-C lightning cable, you know what's in here. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what does come inside of the box. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing opened, and you'll see that we have that gold iPhone 11 Pro. Now I really do like this gold color because it has a matte textured back on this gold. Now it's not the most special this year because it's not the new color, but if you like the gold iPhone of last year, you might like this one even more because it doesn't show, you know, all those like fingerprints on the back. So matte textured back right there. We'll put that off to the side for just a second. And man, a lot of power there in such a small body for the iPhone 11 Pro. You can see right here, we do have the hello guides, also a SIM card tool, Apple stickers as always with these iPhones. And then over here, we do have a fast charger in the box. Nice stuff. I've already tried it with the 11 Pro Max. It's very quick to charge by comparison to some of yesteryear's iPhones. We do have the, looks like the earpods right here, and they do go right into that lightning cable. Wish it was USB-C, but not quite yet for Apple. And a proprietary lightning cable once again. So simple, just like always, just a bigger brick in the box, which is nice for those of you who are going to be picking up the iPhone 11 Pro. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel off the wrap of this phone, and that's it. Just one wrap there, and we're gonna go ahead and power it on. Now, everything so far feels very similar to iPhone 10 and 10s, except for that matte back, which is a real difference in design here for the iPhone 11 Pro. Now, I wasn't originally even gonna review this phone, but you know, many people are probably gonna be buying the iPhone 11, the 11 Pro Max, because they're bigger phones in the 11 Pro Max, and the iPhone 11 is a cheaper phone. So this one might be a hard sell for some people because many people associate, you know, bigger with better. Gotta have the biggest car, gotta have the biggest boat, gotta have the biggest phone. It doesn't mean it's better just because it's bigger. It's basically the same phone and just a smaller body, and not everybody's hands are gonna work for the super large Pro Max. So this one does have a place in the market. Although I would personally even like to see an even smaller phone than this. Okay guys, so here we are at the phone, and I skipped the setup process because I don't think it's necessary to show you that. We have that gold iPhone 11 Pro Max wallpaper on here. Whatever color you go with, they kind of have a wallpaper for you in this new 11 Pro Max. Now, what's nice about this phone is that it's a lot smaller than the 11 Pro Max, but it's still giving you that powerful camera setup, that triple setup that you get from the Max version. So you have a much more manageable phone here than the Max, but you also have that same power. So for people who want the ultimate portability and pocketability, and they still want the power of, you know, a professional camera on your phone, you probably are gonna love this device. Now, also, I'm really liking the stainless steel around the edges of this phone. If you have anything prior to like the iPhone 10, you're really gonna like this because it does give you a nice amount of grip. Now, the back of this iPhone 11 Pro, I gotta say, feels rather nice. It reminds me more of the aluminum days of iPhone on the rear than the smudgy glass that's been on the phones for the past couple of years. Kind of like the iPhone 7, feels pretty similar to that if you just rub your thumb around both of them. Now, you'll notice on the iPhone 11 Pro, this goes for all of them, the 11, 11 Pro Max, the cameras are a little bit more flush than they were before. But the power button itself is the same exact size. The volume rockers are in the same place. The silent switch is in the same place. Okay, so first impressions on display is that it's still an OLED display, so it's gonna be a higher quality than the one on the iPhone 11. Now, we can go on and on about how people cannot see that, and that is true. A lot of people cannot tell, especially when comparing in the Apple Store. At the same time, there's no denying that the OLED is a superior technology display. Apple wouldn't put it in their more premium phones if it wasn't, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be enough to get you to buy this device right here. Now, opening up those cameras, you can see that there's a lot new in this camera, specifically the wide angle for the 11 Pro. And like I said, with the 11 Pro Max, no distortion really on the edges. So this is gonna be a pretty nice setup for you. Also, you can still do telephoto like you were able to do on your iPhone 10, so that doesn't get removed, nothing like that. And of course, you have your standard wide, shot right there. In addition, you could do things on this camera like go ahead and hold down and then drag over, and you can start doing a video, take a picture while in video. I mean, there's a lot you can do here. If we swipe up, you can see you can go through the different millimeters on your camera all the way up to 10x on the zoom. Now that does go digital zoom, and if we go here, you can change the aspect ratio and such. There's so much you could do with this camera. In addition to that, the front-facing camera gets massively improved. You can do 4K 60 on here as well as 12 megapixel, video. So really good stuff here. In addition, not only that, you can do slow motion from the front camera as well. So slow motion video does come to the front camera. So there's a lot to like about the cameras, and all in this more portable package of the iPhone 11 Pro that fits better in your hand than the other two. Now, one thing that's neat about the 11 Pro is that it gets up to 4 hours better battery life. Now, it is actually an improved size battery as well. Like the battery size is actually bigger, but this is important because the smaller iPhones were never the best, and seeing a 4-hour increase according to Apple should be pretty impressive for, again, the size of this smaller iPhone right here. So having this portable power and having really improved battery life is a huge thumbs up here for the smaller 11 Pro. I'm not super happy about the fact they're still using the Intel modems. I'm not getting a great reception compared to my Qualcomm phones, and I've tested on the Pro Max. It's also still not looking as good as like Note 10 Plus, for example, but at least it has the 4x4 MIMO, which should give me a little bit better reception than like iPhone 11. And I'll see how the data speeds are, but these aren't 5G phones this year. This one also loses 3D touch, so you can see that haptic press is a little bit slower. It doesn't feel quite as quick, and some people are probably not going to like that if you loved 3D touch. So this phone is going to run you $1,000 for 64 gigabytes. If you want to go up from there, you're going to pay more from there. So this is starting at 1,000, and that's basically the new normal for Apple's flagship premium device. I want to take a look at this next to some other phones before we wrap up this video to kind of give you an idea. If you're coming from an iPhone 10, here you go. Basically looks the same here around the edges, and the only thing I'm going to say that is a little bit different is basically that matte textured back. That matte textured back feels really different, and the camera looks really different. But if you love the ergonomics, the size, the feel of the iPhone 10, you'll just absolutely love your upgrade over here to the iPhone 11 Pro. It'll just feel like what you're used to, but with better specification. If you're coming from something older, like an iPhone 7, for example, this is gonna feel like a massive update. I mean, just look at these. They're just so much different. The iPhone 11 Pro just looks so much newer than the iPhone 7 at this point, although the iPhone 7 is still a thinner phone and lighter phone than this device. So you're gonna have to deal with a little bit more weight if you really love that light iPhone 7. Get used to it. It's a heavier phone here, but you could see it's still pretty manageable size though, not that much bigger. And of course, last year's iPhone 10s, if you're coming from that, or if you skip that one out, it's basically that phone of this year with a new camera and a bigger battery. So again, iPhone 10s, pretty similar as well. And the weight is actually almost identical to that of the 10s. And lastly, let's take a look at the newer ones. You can see the iPhone 11 towering over the 11 Pro, just a little bit bigger. It's also a little bit heavier than this phone. And the 11 Pro Max is just the beast of these two right here. And it's substantially larger than this 11 Pro. So if you do like really large phones, this one's definitely not for you. Okay, so in conclusion, what is my overall first take on this phone? And I gotta say, I really do like it because I like that you have all this, camera power and improved battery power in this portable package, and I think this is the phone that will fit most people's hands a little bit better. But I still think the 11 Pro Max will outsell this, just because if you're paying $1,000, people are gonna think, you know, just get the best of the best. Let me get the best one, the biggest one, and I think it's gonna sell better for that reason. But I think the 11 is gonna sell better than this as well, because it's also a lot cheaper. Because it's a lot cheaper, and it gives you most of what this phone is going to give you. But I could see for many people out there who always wanted the most power they can get in that most portable package, they're gonna really like the 11 Pro, because Apple has nailed it with the ergonomics. It feels super comfortable in the hand. It's a lot lighter than the Pro Max. It's lighter than the 11, and it just feels great. Anyway, A13 Bionic, 4 GB of RAM. Performance should be fine. iOS 13. Let me know what you guys want to see on this phone going forward compared to maybe Galaxy S10, some other devices, or if you have questions specifically on the smaller edition, let me know. I will take that feedback down and try to get that content out for you. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so and turn the bell notification on. I will catch you all in the next episode. Be sure to be well, and peace.